because I wasn't really convinced that I wanted to even sign up for this Truman Scholarship, you know what I mean? And because it was an arduous task, and I haven't really talked about that entire process, but the Truman Scholarship, you probably want to start that process in the beginning of a semester. I started it with 28 days left. All right, my name is Paul Boyd. I'm a philosophy major here at Rutgers-Camden, New Jersey. I'm in my junior year. I'll be a senior next year, and I graduate in 2025. I was originally born in Atlantic City, very poor family. We moved around a lot, so we ended up in Ocean City. Moving to Ocean City was an odd experience, because being the kind of poor that we were, in Atlantic City, we were poor among the poor, and then you move to Ocean City where it's super wealthy people. It was a different kind of poor, you know what I mean? But it was a great experience because of the school systems there were much better, and I think I give them a lot of credit for helping me establish my work ethic in school, at least. I don't know where I first heard the term college or what made me think about it. I can't remember that part, but pretty young I always had dreams and hopes of going to college and actually being a college graduate. And I knew then, I know part of it was because of my circumstances. I wanted to get out of that even as a young kid, and not even realizing I would have been the first one. I still want to be the first one in my family. If I complete this journey, I will still, in my family's lineage, be the first college graduate, which is, it's exciting, but also kind of sad and absurd to me. Well, in my early 30s, I ended up in prison, and during that experience, I had to reevaluate myself, obviously, if you choose to do that in there. I noticed around me that a lot of people in that situation, they kind of give up on themselves, and they just give into that process, and then they become what I call forever dependents of the state, because that's sort of what the after effects of prison is. It kind of makes you dependent on everything outside of yourself, and I didn't want to be that kind of a person. So I'll say this a lot, the stars kind of aligned once my thoughts had changed, and I set out on this journey to kind of figure out myself and why did I let myself end up in this place, especially given the fact that I was born gifted with a lot of, I was born with talents that I just wasn't using. But once I made that decision, just so happened at the same time of making that decision, a program called New Jersey STEP had entered the prison that I was living in, and I signed up immediately. And then my higher educational journey started from that point on, which was around 2014, and then the rest is history. What the Truman Scholarship is a living memorial to the President Harry S. Truman. The idea behind the scholarship is to invest in future leaders, people who aspire to be either in public service, nonprofit organizations, that sort of thing, but some sort of leadership, teachers, future leaders in whatever capacity they choose to lead. The process is freaking crazy. And like I said, I had to do it in 28 days. I didn't have 90 days to do it. It's a lot of writing and a lot of sweat and a lot of freaking frustration, right? One of the biggest things that I've gotten out of this personally, outside of all the benefits, is it really helped me focus and narrow in on my specific goals. It forces you to, because you have to be precise in what your goals are and how you plan to achieve them. So that's a good thing, and especially for kids who are kind of all over the place. That you're juniors, so you still might be floating around a little bit. This process will really help you figure out what it is that you want to do with your life. When I got the news that I won, I was so shocked, because I was really shocked. They kind of surprised me. They did a little sneak surprise thing. So when I walk in the executive room, and they were all just sitting there, I'm just thinking oh, they're just here to congratulate me for going through this process. Until I heard Chancellor Tillis say, "Congratulations, Paul, on being named a Truman Scholar." When I heard that, I'm like, what? It really didn't sink in at first, because I'm I think they got the wrong information. You know what I mean? I'm like, no, that's not possible. And then President Holloway came on, and he said, he gave me history. Then it was real. I was like, oh, this is the president. So I'm like, not discounting Chancellor Tillis, but it was like the president made it like, no, this really happened. And I was like, wow. That is when it kind of set in. Like, not only was I like overwhelmed by the festivity of the thing, I saw finally like, oh, this is really big. You know what I mean? I started a trend of like, I'm the first, so that'll always hold that special place. But 2, 3, 4, and 5 are coming now. You know what I mean? Because they see that we can actually win this thing. So I think that's pretty cool.